Mike's heart swelled with an overwhelming sense of joy and contentment as he held his newborn son in his arms for the first time. The tiny, wrinkled face of the infant, still pink from the journey into the world, peered up at him with curious eyes. Mike gently cradled the baby, marveling at the delicate features and the soft wisps of hair on his head. In that moment, all the struggles and heartaches of the past seemed to melt away, replaced by a profound love and a renewed sense of purpose. As he gazed adoringly at his son, Mike's thoughts drifted to his daughter from his previous marriage. He cherished the bond they shared, grateful that his ex-wife, Jessica, hadn't severed the connection between father and child. It was the one redeeming quality he could attribute to her amidst the painful memories of their failed relationship. Now, with the arrival of his son, Mike felt a sense of completeness, as if a missing piece of his heart had finally fallen into place. Mike's mind wandered back to the early days of his relationship with Jessica. They had been young and in love, fresh out of university, and eager to build a life together. The world had seemed full of promise and possibility, even as they navigated the challenges that came with starting their careers and raising a family. Life had been far from easy in those initial years. Their employers, struggling to stay afloat in a challenging economy, often withheld their salaries, leaving Mike and Jessica to scrape by on meager resources. They relied heavily on the support of their parents, who would welcome them with open arms whenever they made the journey to the village. The couple would return home with heavy bags laden with essential items, cuts of meat, fresh vegetables, and aromatic herbs like dill gifts from their loving families to help them get by. Adding to their burdens, their daughter's frequent illnesses kept them on their toes. Sleepless nights spent comforting the feverish child, and numerous sick leaves from work took their toll on the young parents. Yet, even amidst the exhaustion and worry, Mike and Jessica found solace in each other's presence. They clung to the love that had brought them together, finding strength in their shared commitment to their little family. As their daughter grew older and the demands of parenting shifted, new challenges arose. The distance between their home and the kindergarten became a source of frustration for Jessica. She watched with envy as other families arrived in their personal vehicles to drop off their children, while she had to navigate public transportation or walk the long distance. The disparity between their financial situation and that of their peers became increasingly apparent. Mike, ever the optimist, tried to reassure his wife. He asked her to be patient, promising to work hard and save up for a car that would make their lives easier. However, Jessica's mother, with her sharp tongue and critical nature, scoffed at Mike's ambitions. "When will that poor engineer ever manage to afford it?" she would say, her words cutting deep into Jessica's already fragile self-esteem. At first, Jessica tried to brush off her mother's hurtful remarks, but as time passed, the seed of discontent began to take root in her heart. She couldn't help but notice the multiple rings adorning the fingers of her colleagues at work, the luxurious fur coats draped over their shoulders. The realization that she couldn't even afford 2 pairs of boots for the changing seasons filled her with a sense of inadequacy and resentment. It was during this time that a dark thought began to whisper in the recesses of Jessica's mind. Perhaps she had made a mistake by marrying a mere employee, it suggested. Maybe she should set her sights higher, seek out a wealthy lover who could provide her with the luxuries she craved. But in their small town, where would she find such a man? Suddenly, a glimmer of hope appeared in the form of Jessica's cousin, who resided in the bustling capital city. Mike, ever supportive, had no objections to Jessica visiting her relatives, and so she began making frequent trips to the capital, sometimes several times a month. Her absences didn't go unnoticed by those around them. Mike's friend Chris tried to open his eyes to the truth. "You have so many relatives, brothers, and more, whom you visit often," he pointed out, his tone laced with concern. But Mike, loyal to a fault, brushed off the worries. "It doesn't work out," he replied, unwilling to entertain the thought that his wife might be straying. Chris, growing more insistent, warned, "Be careful, or after these trips there might be nothing left of your family." He could see what everyone else saw: the gold chain around Mike's neck that he clearly couldn't afford, the new leather handbag that couldn't be purchased with a mere bonus, and the fur coat for which Jessica allegedly borrowed money from her mother. The signs were there, but Mike chose to turn a blind eye. The day Jessica finally confessed her desire to end their marriage felt like a punch to Mike's gut. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Are you out of your mind? he exclaimed, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and disbelief. "We have a daughter together!" Jessica's response was cold and calculating. "Don't worry about her. She will have everything she wants." Trying to diffuse the tension with humor, Mike joked, "Found an oligarch, did you?" To his shock, Jessica replied without missing a beat. "What did you think?" "I found one." With a heavy heart and a sense of defeat, Mike packed his belongings and left behind the house they had built together. He moved into a rented apartment, his dreams of a happy family life shattered. Yet despite the pain and betrayal, a part of him clung to the hope of reconciliation. He couldn't bear the thought of losing Jessica completely. But Jessica, with her head held high and an air of superiority, dismissed Mike's attempts to mend their relationship. She flaunted expensive dresses brought back from her trips to Italy, a clear indication of her newfound wealth and status. The town buzzed with rumors and speculation about the mysterious metropolitan oligarch who had apparently stolen Jessica's heart. Everyone waited with bated breath for the arrival of this vaunted figure, anticipating a grand engagement ceremony. But as the weeks turned into months, the oligarch never materialized. Instead, Jessica found herself in the arms of a small businessman, a far cry from the life of luxury she had envisioned. In a moment of vulnerability, Jessica confided in her closest friend, revealing the truth behind her failed pursuit of the wealthy man. When she had eagerly informed him of her newly single status, he had responded with skepticism and disdain. He made it clear that while having fun was one thing, living together was an entirely different matter. He would never trade his two beloved daughters for an outsider woman, no matter how beautiful she might be. Left high and dry, Jessica found herself alone and disillusioned. The life she had so desperately sought had slipped through her fingers, leaving her with nothing but regret and a tarnished reputation. Meanwhile, Mike, having endured the pain of betrayal and the challenges of starting anew, found solace in the arms of another woman. She was kind, faithful, and genuine, everything he had once believed Jessica to be. With time and patience, they built a life together, their love growing stronger with each passing day. And now, as Mike cradled his newborn son, he felt a sense of peace and gratitude wash over him. He had emerged from the darkness of his past, stronger and wiser. The love he shared with his new wife was built on a foundation of trust, respect, and unwavering commitment. Together, they had created a family filled with joy and laughter, a testament to the power of resilience and the enduring nature of true love. As he gazed into the innocent eyes of his son, Mike made a silent promise. He would be the father this child deserved, present, loving, and always there to guide and support him. The mistakes and heartaches of the past would serve as lessons, reminding him of the importance of cherishing the precious moments and the people who mattered most. With a heart full of love and a renewed sense of purpose, Mike embraced his role as a father, ready to face whatever challenges life might bring. He knew that with his family by his side, he could weather any storm and find happiness in the simplest of things. And as he held his son close, Mike felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey that had led him to this moment. A journey of love, loss, and ultimately, redemption.